Ontario 6-4 on Saturday to win the Canadian Junior Men's Curling Championship. All 4 members of the team took today off from university. They caught up on some sleep and spent the afternoon at Jim Sullivan's house watching a videotape of the championship game.
He just has to throw nice, caring weight, let the sweepers keep it on line, hit it on the nose, and he's the Canadian champion.
Well, at first I was real nervous. My heart started to beat.
Concentrating as
I had to take a few deep breaths to stay cool and try and get my nerves down a bit. And then I just had to concentrate on the broom and not to pump up my weight. Just treat it as a normal shot as I do in practice. And it worked out.
He's going to be perfect. He has got a hit to stay for 2. So Jim Sullivan comes through on the 10th end with a pair. And
they are 4 very tired young men. For the past week, Jim Sullivan, Charlie Sullivan, Craig Burgess, and Danny Alderman have given it their all at the Canadian Junior Men's Curling Championship. On Saturday, they beat Ontario in the final game to clinch the title. Not bad for a team that's only been together since October.
Well, our goal was to make the Nationals, first of all. From day one, we thought we had a real good shot to win our provincial out of New Brunswick and go to Nationals, but we never really knew how we'd fare at Nationals, but our goal was to get the Nationals from day one. It didn't really curl till the end, though,
Determine which stone is shot. Yesterday, putting them in the semifinals today. It was 1-all in the third in the morning draw against Scotland when Sullivan made a dandy hit and stick here. He was counting 3, but Scotland had the hammer, but it wasn't going to do him any good. This rock will go through the house. Sullivan steals 3 and takes a 4-1 lead. We're going to move to the 5th. Another dandy shot by Sullivan coming up. This time, it's his last rock. He'll count 3 more to salt it away. 7-2 the final. The Scots decided it was time to shake hands. Then it was on to the final draw. Canada takes a 7-1 record against the winless Italians. Early on in the match, the Italians' final rock has too much on it. Canada with the steal, and the Italian skip, I think what his performance here kind of demonstrates his feelings of it. He looks for a little divine guidance. It wasn't there. Sullivan put this one away in the 7th end. He tossed a 4-ender. Another 7-2 win in the day for Canada. Sullivan was to meet Norway in the semifinal en route to an anticipated final when it was expected he'd meet Switzerland.
Well, I don't think you can say the final is going to be Canada-Switzerland. Switzerland has a tough game against Sweden. They only have, I think, 2 or 3 losses, and that's going to be a tough game. We can't look by Norway. We just got to look at Norway. We can't look at the final at all.
And in that semifinal matchup today, Canada didn't look past Norway. They downed the Norwegians 6-4. The final, Sweden surprised Switzerland 7-5. So perhaps it was the Swiss who looked past the semis and got caught napping. Whatever the case, it'll be the Sullivan rink, lead Dan Alderman, second Craig Burgess, mate Charlie Sullivan, who is Skip Jim's cousin, by the way. They'll meet Sweden in the final. Canada beat the Swedes 5-2 in the first game of the round robin earlier this week.
The 4th Canadian rink in a row to plod through to the finals, but standing between them and that, a pesky Swedish rink.
In the first semifinal game, with Canada leading by a score of 3-2 in the 7th end, skip Jim Sullivan plays the takeout. And then with Canada lying 2, Norway comes up short. Canada steals 2 and goes on to a 6-4 win. Meanwhile, in the other semifinal, Sweden jumps out to an early 4-0 lead as Switzerland misses twice with their last rock. The Swedes go on to upset the Swiss 7-5, so tomorrow, Canada against Sweden in the final.
It's going to be a close game, I think, and it'll be close. Our first game, we played them in the round robin. It was a close game, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's a tough game. The Canadians are the best team so far, but we got a chance. But for now, the Canadians are the favorites.
And while New Brunswick's Jim Sullivan and his team were absolutely on the mark today as they won the World Championship men's junior curling title over Sweden 4-2, Canada won the title for the 6th time since 1975. Sports Weekend's Ulf van Malberg is in Fusen and sends us this report.
Welcome to Füssen, Germany, a picturesque old town located in the heart of the Bavarian Alps, famous for its castle and beer. But today Füssen hosts the inaugural World Junior Curling Championship. The final features Canada and Sweden, with the Swedes led by the emotional skip Peter Lindholm, contrasted with the calm and cool of Canadian skip Jim Sullivan. Only one team will get to wear the gold medals. and Canada gets off to a fast start. In the first end, Peter Lindholm facing a Canadian stone, fans on his takeout, and he shows his displeasure. That leaves Jim Sullivan the free draw for 2. He made it, and that means 2-0 after the first end, Canada. The Swedes got one back in the fourth end when Lindholm, trying to blank the end, hits and sticks for 1. This is, of course, not what he planned. Now with the hammer, Sullivan goes right back to work in the fifth end, lying 2. Lindholm elects to play a freeze. He's just a touch too heavy. The space is all Jim Sullivan needs. He picks it clean for another pair. And look what a shot this is. Canada ends a 2-year Scottish reign at the World Juniors with a 4-2 victory over Sweden. Norway, by the way, got the bronze medal. The Canadian team lead Danny Alderman, second Craig Burgess, third Charles Sullivan, and skip Jim Sullivan.
Yeah, it was a close game. The two-enders really helped us a lot. The first 2-ender in the first end really helped us, and from then we just kept it clean.
We don't play the 100%, but Canada played very good. They were the best team, so we couldn't win today. However, we would play.
Fussen marks the end of an era because next year in Markham, Ontario, the young ladies are joining the young gentlemen for the Uniroyal Goodrich Junior World Curling Championship. This is Urs von Marbeck in Fussen, Germany. Back to CBC Sports Weekend Control.
All right, and a reminder, CBC Sports will have the Pepsi Junior Men's and Women's Canadian Curling Championship from North Vancouver 2 weeks from today. Updating NHL hockey.
On Sports Desk, Canada wins it all at the World Junior Men's Curling Championships. Buffalo and Boston hook up in a key Adams Division game. And more upsets, second round of the NCAA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Sports Desk. I'm Vic Roeder. It has been a very busy Saturday afternoon. Lots to tell you about, and let's start with curling. And for the very first time since 1985, Canada is the World Junior Men's Curling Champion.
It's Canada-Sweden, the gold medal game at the World Junior Championships in Fussen, West Germany. And Sweden finds themselves in trouble first end, facing a well-guarded Canadian stone. Skip Peter Lindholm of Sweden trying for the takeout. But Lindholm is heavy, and he'll sail right by that stone at the back of the forefoot. And that leaves the Canadian skip Jim Sullivan a free draw for a pair to open the game, and Sullivan makes no mistake. Canada out to a quick 2-0 lead as he draws the top of the four. And the Maple Leaf flags were waving in the stands at Fussen. Sweden gets one back in the third. Lindholm, facing one Canadian stone, will hit and stick for the single. But Sullivan then has the hammer, last rock going to the fourth end. And here is Lindholm's final stone in that fourth, has to play the freeze in order to prevent a pair for Canada. But again, Lindholm heavy as he bumps the Canadian stone back and now leaves room for the takeout. And Sullivan makes the shot of the game. Perfect throw for the takeout, leaving another double for Canada. And that was all the Sullivan rink from Fredericton needed as they beat Sweden, the final 4-2 to win the gold medal in the World Junior Curling Championship. Sweden takes the silver. The bronze goes to Norway.
Yeah, it was a close game. The two-enders really helped us a lot. The first 2-ender in the first end really helped us, and from then we just kept it clean.
Yeah, we don't play the 100%, but Canada played very good. They were the best team, so we couldn't win today. However, we would play.
This afternoon in downtown Fredericton, the Sullivan rink had an impressive 8-1 record through round-robin play at the World Juniors. They went up against Sweden in the final and controlled that game right from the start, scoring 2 points in both the first and fifth ends. On their way to a big 4-2 win, the team includes skip Jim Sullivan, mate Charlie Sullivan, second Craig Burgess, and lead Danny Alderman. The World Junior Championship began back in 1975. This is the 6th time a Canadian rink has won it. The magnitude of their win really hasn't sunk in yet.
It hasn't really set in yet. It feels great, and I'm all excited, but I don't think the full force has hit me quite yet.
What can you do as an encore to this? I mean, you're world champ now. Everything's going to almost seem small compared to this.
I don't think there's much I can do for an encore. This is about probably as best as it'll get, and I'll just have to enjoy it.
You're a world champion now. How does it feel?
Oh, it really hasn't set in yet. I mean, I can't believe it, but I just got to get by myself and have a chance to think about it, and then it'll probably hit me.
And the Julie Sutton rink from Kelowna, BC is assured a spot in the semifinals of the World Junior